It's a quick test professional used for automation testing. So what is the automation, or what is the automation over here? What is the meaning of, what is the definition of automation? Automation is nothing but repeating the steps again and again, repeating the same step again and again. Okay, no need to uh, run the same steps manually. So what we are doing here is we are using some sort of a tool which automatically does the same step which we instructed to the machine. Okay, so you would have seen a lot many things in your real life. So many automation things are there. Now earlier we had a bicycle where we used to run the bicycle manually. So we used to pedal it. When as the time progresses, we came across the bikes. So which automatically runs. We don't have to pedal. Just we have to control on the accelerator and brakes are right. Likewise, here in the tool also in the real life, in the IT industry, in the virtual world, we are using a tool where we are instructing the steps that we are instructing, we are controlling the script, or we are controlling the actions that we are going to perform on the application, right? So it's a analogy between the real life and the IT world life. So everything in the world, in the IT industry, everything has been developed and, with respect to the real life, that what we are doing, right? QTP is a tool used to automate the manual test step precisely and perfectly. Okay. So what was the intention to bring in, what was the use of, so what made the IT industry to bring the QTP into the market, an automation tool into the market? So there were a lot of drawbacks were there in a manual testing. So what was the major, we will find out, we'll go through the major drawbacks. What was the manual testing had? The manual testing is time consuming, tedious, and requires heavy the investment in a human resources. Okay, what it means is, so the IT industry nowadays is growing very faster. So every cycle will have some release. They will be having the releases. They, when they plan to develop a product, the product may not be coming in a right. Okay, the product may not be coming in a right position with some first release only. Okay, they might go with the changes, the release by release. They might be adding the features to the application. Okay, as the time passes, as the features getting added to the application. So that time what happens is the manual testing doesn't enough. Okay, the manual testing can't help them to release the product at the earliest. Why? Because why it is, why they can't release the product to the market with the manual testing only? So they can release it, but it consumes more time. If you assume that there are thousands of test cases are there to be executed on the application, and there is a deadline that the application should be released to the market in the small time only, then how is it possible to execute? Else what I can do is, he has to, the company has to recruit more number of manual testers to perform the action. So it won't be possible, right? So that is why this automation testing has come into the picture. So where you can implement the automation tool, okay, to repeat the same steps, okay, which you will be, which you would have done in the previous cycle of the application, that I'll explain in detail when the application comes. And the time constraint, time constraint often makes it impossible to manually test every feature thoroughly before software application or web application is to be released. So you can't test. Now for a first cycle, assume that first cycle is there, there you have 1,000 test cases, again there is a second cycle is there, again you have to execute those 1,000 test cases. Along with that, you might have some additional test cases to be executed. Okay, all the 1,000 test cases all can't be automated. So if your time is less, you can't execute all the 1,000 test cases. What you will do is, you will identify what are the major functions which need to be covered for the next cycle. You will identify those, and for those what you will do, you will prepare a automation script, and for the next cycle what you will do, you will run those script, and you will go with the manual testing for the newly added feature for the release. Okay, so this leaves us wondering whether the serious defects have been detected or not. Okay, so to address these above drawbacks, Mighty Industry has introduced an automation concept. So HP is one of the company who introduced the QTP. Actually, the QTP is a product of a Mercury company. So earlierly it was developed by them, and later it is taken over by the HP. Now current version of the QTP is 11.5. It is being called as a HP UFT, Unified Functional Test. Now why they have made it as the HP UFT is a combination of both the two tools. There are HP QTP plus HP service test. HP QTP is used for functional and regression testing for the application, and HP service test is used for web services testing. Okay, so but during the training session we will be going through the HP QTP version 10. Okay, so if you want to download a QTP version, if you don't have, if you want to download, you can download it from the HP site. Okay, you can say QTP download. From the trial version you can download just. Go to the link of the HP site. Okay, there you will come across this new version HP UFT, and just fill in all the details. Okay, on filling all the details, on clicking the next button, you will be taken to the download. So I will share this link to all of you. Just note it down and download it from the site. So just fill in all the details, click on the next button, you will be taken to the download page, and just QTP Essentials 11 you can download, or else you can, one latest version is you can download the here HP Unified Functional Test. Better you download this Unified Functional Test. Don't go for the QTP Essentials 11. Go with this one. Just click on it. From the trials and demo, select the Unified Functional. Okay, click it or cancel it. Okay, return to the download. So you'll be just, you need to fill this and click on the next button. You will be taken to the download page. Okay, it will download, and it's a simple exe file that you will get a zip file that you need to extract it. Okay, however, I will share you the link where you can find the step-by-step instruction for installation of the QTP. Okay, I have pinged in the chat window. All of you can take it down, and you will follow the steps, and even video is also there how to install the HP UFT in the system. Our download and installation process is given in the link. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. So what are the benefits of automation testing? It is a fast. So why it is fast? It runs tests significantly faster than human resources. Now we have an application. Therein we have a screen. On the screen we have some around 5 to 6 fields and 2 buttons, or some check boxes, some radio buttons. Okay. When manually a user enters all the details, at least he takes minimum of half minute, right? Now likewise, if you have so many screens and so many screens in the application to be tested, how much human user takes the time? He might be taking at least 1 minute or 2 minutes, okay, to fill in the data and to complete the flow. But what the automation does is, what we are going to do with automation testing is, we are going to instruct the tool that fill in all these details. Okay, we are instructing, we are writing a script, or we are recording the script in such a way that as per our step-by-step execution will be there, right, in the manual test step. Likewise, we are going to record the step, or we are going to write the script, and we will instruct it. When you run the step now, So it enters the values in the screen of the fields faster than the human resources. The human resource might be taking half a second, half minute, more than half a minute you might be taking, but the tool takes very less time than the human resource. The repeatable tester can test how the website or a software reacts after repeated execution, okay, of the same operation. So what happens is one can test how the website or application reacts after repeated execution of the same operation. Now there is a screen in the application. For example, we will take this screen. The Gmail registration page is there. Now how it will react for a repeated execution of the same operation. Just you can check it. So now I have a Google Gmail account registration page over here. Now I have been asked to create a multiple logins, multiple registrations over here. So if I've been asked to do that one, how much time I will take manually? So I have to enter the first name, last name. I have to choose the username to be displayed on the screen, or how the email ID should look like, and I have to give the password and confirm the same password. So while reading only, I'm taking lot much of time, right? The same way, when you try to enter the values, we might be taking some time. So again, if you want to create one more registration, again you have to enter the same details, right? So to avoid the same thing, what you can do is you can use the automation script. Okay, within the with automation script you can create a multiple registration with a different set of data. Okay, and the QTP, what it does is it repeats the same whatever you instructed. So here, first what I'll say, enter first name, then I'll say enter the last name, then I'll say choose the username. Whatever I instruct to the tool, it does the same only. It does not, it will not deviate from the instructions whatever it is given to the tool. But manually when we are doing, we can enter any value from anywhere, but we'll be coming across the errors, right? Again we need to correct the errors to come out of that one. Okay. Reusable is tests can be reused on a different versions of the software. So what is a different version? The different versions in the sense, so software would have been developed with the little features in the first cycle, and in the next cycle it would have been developed with the additional features. That time we can use the script which we used developed earlier. For example, earlier, assume that this registration page has got only this much of fields. It doesn't have this gender, mobile, and current. Assume that only this much section was, these many only fields were there to enter and create the account in a Google. That is the first version of the application. But we have a script ready for these many fields to create an account: first name, last name, choose username, create a password, confirm password, birthday, and gender. Gender is not there, just these many details, and hit the submit button. Okay, just hit the next button, the account will be created. Only this much we had in the first cycle of the application. But in the next cycle of the application, they have included some more fields in the registration page. Assume that they included gender, mobile number, current email ID, and these many fields. Okay, so what we can do is we can use the previously you generated script, and we can enhance those with the additional. We should add these whatever the extra fields are there, right? Those we should add to the script, and we can make use of the script. Okay, reusability in the sense, the script which are developed in the previous version of the application can be used for the next version of the application. If there is a change in the application, that we are going to modify the script with a little bit changes, and then we will run the application. Okay. Reusability in total, so we can use the older version script in the current version of the application. Reliable test performs precisely the same operation each time they are run, thereby eliminating the human errors. So what it is saying is reliable. So whatever I instructed, as I told, whatever I instructed to the tool, it does the same thing. It will not deviate from the steps that what we are instructed to the tool. So as a human resource we might be deviating, but the tool what it does is whatever we instructed to the tool, that only it does. It doesn't deviate from the actions which are instructed to the tool. Comprehensive means the testers can build test suites for the test that covers every feature in the application. So first, what is a test suite? So the test suites are nothing but a collection of test cases. So in your application, you might be having lot many test cases. Okay, you can create the test suite for one regression cycle. So whenever there is a version change in the application, you can run that test suite to accomplish the regression testing of the application. So we have an introduction on a QTP. So this is our agenda for the day, and we will have an introduction on what is an add-in manager. We'll go through the UI, QTP UI components. Then what is the test process? Okay, recording modes and object hierarchy. So as I was telling about the test suites and the regression, right? So the test suites, as I told, it's a collection of a test cases. How I'll give an example over here. This is one of the this is one registration page. For this you will be having a one test sang. Give me a second. uh, I think, is it okay now? Let's come to the test suite. The test suite is a collection of a test case. In your application you might be having lot many test screens and lot many test cases for each and every screen. So this is one of the registration page in a Google account. So we'll be having a test case for this one. So the test case says that create an account in the Google account. So then what are the steps will be included? Enter first name, enter last name, enter username, enter password, or confirm the password. So these many steps are there in the one test case. So what would be the other test case? After creation of the account, just log in with those details, okay, to confirm whether the account got created or not. This is a one test case. Okay. Again, after login, just check whether you are able to compose the mail or not. That is a one test case. So when you click on a compose button, are you getting the window, compose window or not? That is a one test case. So in the compose window, what and all will be there? Two fields, subject field and subject body, and the button send button. So these are the test cases, right? So these are the different test scenarios, and for each and every test scenario we will be writing a test cases. The test cases will have a test steps, right? So in to test this cycle completely with an automation tool, what we are going to do is we are going to create one test suite. In that test suite we will be having the collection of a test cases. My As per the current flow, so my test suite collection will be like registration of the Google account, then login into the account with the registered details, then click on a compose, then look the UI of the have a look on the UI of compose, whether it has the two subject field, then subject body and the send button. So these are all the test cases which are clubbed together to form a test suite. And what is the regression test cases? What is the regression testing? The regression testing is nothing but executing the same test cases in the version changes to make sure that with the changes in the application there are no effects has been taken. For example, now earlier we had only username and the password. We didn't have this stay in checkbox in the application. So only we had username, password, and sign in button. That time we have a script and it is worked fine. Now the developer has introduced the stay in checkbox in the application. So with the introduction of this, the stay in checkbox in the application, so it is affecting anything to the existing functionality. So we are going to check that one in the regression phase. That is for the regression. Okay. Or if any defects has been there. So while testing, you would have found you enter the username, you enter the password, you hit the sign in button. So you are not able to log in into the application. You got an error. For that error, you raised a defect stating that user is unable to log in with the valid credentials. Then the developer has comes with the changes, code changes, and he will give the application back. Again, you have to test with the same data or new data, whatever you have with the to test the login function. That is also a regression part. So what is the regression is? Testing the application with the changes to identify the changes has not impacted the features of the application. Okay. The QTP as a tool, it's a quick test professional, is a HP's advanced keyword driven testing tool used for functional test automation. Okay, so earlier it was a product of Mercury, then it was taken over by HP. So Mercury has started from the 6.5 version, I think. So then now it's a when it was a version 9.5, it is taken over by HP. Then it is now it's a HP UFT. It's a HP UFT is a combination of HP QTP plus HP service test and advanced keyword driven testing tool for a functional test automation. So this HPQTP is used for functional testing. The function that we are going to automate it. And what are the features? It has a feature that allows the end user to create, debug, and run the automated test and analyze the results. So what it does is, whatever we instruct that it creates, and we're going to create the test script for that one, for the scenario what we got. Then later we will debug the script whether it is working fine or not, and we will enhance it further for our purpose. Then we will run the script that we generated, and we will analyze the result. Based on the result, we will be sharing the details to the lead or a client. Okay. The QTP uses the VB script for developing a test script. So why this VB script is required is to enhance our test script that we developed for our application. Okay, now as I shown in the Gmail application, we have a login screen. Okay, now I have a login screen, right? I would have recorded or I would have written the script to just log in. But when the user asks me to test that screen for a different set of users, okay, for a different set of users for multiple times, or for a single user only multiple times that application has to be tested. So I have to have some scripting so to enhance that one further. Okay, for a data driven testing or for a for loop, so that the same action is repeated multiple times. Okay, that we will see. So that is the VB script is a language which we are going to use for to enhance our script for further. Okay, that means QTP supports only VB scripts to develop the test scripts or enhance the test script whatever we have. QTP 10 supports the following browsers. Okay, IE, Internet Explorer, Mozilla, and Netscape. You can record the actions on the Internet Explorer, and you can run the same script on Mozilla Firefox or a Netscape Firefox, and as well as on the Internet Explorer. So during our training session, we will be working on Internet Explorer. And you can install QTP on different OSs, so which are listed over here. Windows 2000K, XP, Vista, and Windows 7. So what the QTP does for us? QTP enables you to automate the testing of standard Windows applications, web objects, ActiveX controls, and Visual Basic applications. Okay. Standard Windows application. In Windows applications are nothing but exe files that you have in your application. So those are the standard Windows applications. Okay, and web objects. The web objects comes to the picture when we have a web-based applications, and the ActiveX controls and the Visual Basic applications. The standard Windows application in the sense, I have simple just I'll show you this one. This is a Windows application. It's an exe file that got installed in my system. So this is a window based application. It's not a web based application. So you can automate these kind of application also. In web based applications, you can automate web based application using a QTP tool. And Visual Basic application which are developed in VB and ActiveX, you can automate the ActiveX control applications. Apart from that, you will be having more applications, more different type technology applications. There are different technologies are there, so people are using to develop their application. So QTP in such cases, QTP has to support it, right? So QTP has to understand it. So whether the QTP is able to identify the object in the application to test it or not. Okay, for that we should have a respect to add-in. So you can also acquire the additional quick test add-ins for number of spatial environments. If your application is developed in Java, Oracle or SAP solutions or any other software here in the listed, you should have the respective add-in, or we can say a plug-in to the tool to automate that application. If it is a normal web application, the QTP will be able to identify the objects. But if it is a Oracle apps or a SAP solution application, in that case QTP will not identify the objects in the application unless until it doesn't have that respective add-in. Okay, if you're going to automate the SAP solution, then you should have the SAP solution add-in in the your QTP. That I will come to know what is the add-in manager in the coming session. Can we automate the testing of all the applications using a QTP? Okay, no. For my, we can't say that we can automate all the features of the application. Okay, we can't assume that QTP will directly compatible with the application under test. We need to access whether the objects in the application are being identified the QTP as a standard object. So in the application, what is this object and all? I'll explain what is an object and all. In an application, what normally we will be having? What normally we will have in an application? In an application, normally what we will have? We will have a text box. Wherever you see a web application or any standard Windows application, you can see you will be having the text box. So this is a text box, and you will be having the checkbox. You will have a radio button. You will be having the drop down. Okay, that is called as a list. Okay, and what else? You will have a button. You will have a link. Apart from that, you will not be having nothing. Okay, you will be having the images like this, but most of majorly the standard objects are the text box, link, radio buttons, web list, okay, checkboxes. These are the standard objects which will be available in the application. Wherever you, whichever application you take, these are the common objects which will be available in the application. So we need to access whether the object in the application. So before we identify the tool, whether QTP is able to identify the object in the application. So what the QTP does is it will identify that text box. Now there's a text box in the application, so it will treat that as an object. Okay, it will treat that text box as an object. Then whether QTP is able to identify that text object or not, text field as an object or not, that we need to see. So before we use the QTP for our automation, or before we decide to go for the automation testing using a QTP in our organization. Okay. For all standard objects, QTP uses the standard methods to perform the desired action. So now I have one standard object, that's a text box. So what would be the action I will be performing on the object? That will be a typing. That is the object where we can enter some text. Okay, the action is the what action we are going to perform on the text box is either we will set the value in the text box, or either we will enter the values in the text box. That means every application will have a standard objects like a text box, link, checkbox, okay, list. Each and every object will have a respective action to be performed on the object. Now text box is there, wherein the action for the text box is to enter the values. Now, but wherein the link is there, what would be the action on the link is also one of the standard object. What would be the action that we are going to perform on the link? It's a click. Click is the action that we are going to perform on the link object. Radio button is there. What is the action? That is also one of the object. So what is the action that we are going to perform on the radio button? It's a select. Like it's for a list also we are going to list means web list. It's a drop down. Again, there also we are going to perform an action to select, okay, or a set, okay. That is a methods. Every object, standard object, will be identified, okay, with, you can access the application under being identified with a standard object, and every standard object will have a action to be performed. Methods are nothing but actions, okay. In some cases, QTP is concerned in identifying the objects correctly. So sometimes what happens is QTP is will not identify the objects which are available in the application. Why it is not identifying? So first, one of the cause for this is that the right add-in is not there in the QTP. Okay, you may not be having the right add-in in the QTP. That is why QTP might be failing to identify the object in the application. Okay, so to overcome that one, so what we need to have is we need to have a add-in manager in the tool. So when a QTP test opens, we can choose the which of the installed add-ins you want to load using a Quick Test Professional add-in manager. Okay, so in the screen you are seeing this is the add-in manager screen. So that you will see when you launch the QTP application. In that, here you can see the default add-ins. Default add-ins with the freeware version is ActiveX, Visual Basic, and the web. The .NET and the WF is the licensed version add-ins. Now I have an application which is developed in .NET technology, and QTP is not able to identify the. I don't have the add-in installed in the QTP now. The .NET add-in is not there in my application. So, but application is developed in .NET, and QTP is failing to identify the objects in the application. So then what do I do? So we'll go to the HP support and we'll say that our application is developed in .NET application, and but QTP is failing to identify the objects in the application. Then he will have a go through on it. So what kind of license you have got? So whether the add-in manager has got the right add-in to identify the objects or not, he'll look into that one, and he'll suggest that you have to buy this license or this add-in license so that you can automate your application which is developed in .NET. So that means he will give the .NET plugin to be installed. So that you need to install it, and then QTP will be able to identify the objects in the application. So that means right add-in should be there to work on the right application. If the application is developed in .NET, you should have a .NET add-in. Then if the application is developed in SAP Solutions, then you should have a SAP Solution add-in. If the application is developed in Oracle Apps, then you should have the Oracle Apps add-in. Add-in manager, you use the add-in, which what it does is it enables us the creation and the execution of the tests on application in variety of development environment. So that means if you have the respective add-in manager for the respective application, then it's easy for us to create and execute the test cases. Then the proper identification of the objects and the methods on them using which we create best possible test for the application. If you have the right add-in, then it won't be difficult for us to identify the objects and the methods on the objects, so on which we are going to test the application. Okay, so before we proceed further, we will understand what is the object and what is the method. Okay, for example, how we can explain is, so you take any object, anything that falls in front of you, everything will be treated as an object. Now, for example, you take bicycle. That is one of the object. Okay. So what are the features of the object? What are the features of that object? To say it as in a bicycle only. Now, as I said, that there is a text box in the application. Okay. How QTPs identify that as an text object only? Okay. The same way, when you see in a bicycle, you are saying that it's a bicycle only. How will you say? By seeing the properties of that object. Right. What are the properties of a bicycle? It has got a two wheels. It has got a pedal. It has got a handle. Okay, right. So these are the some features which will tell us that it's a bicycle. Using that features, we are going to tell that it's a bicycle. The likewise in the text box, what the QTP does is it will look for some properties, standard properties. What QTP has as inbuilt properties, right? It has got some inbuilt properties to identify that object as a text object only. Okay. Likewise, now we understood, right? To identify the bicycle as a bicycle, uh, we are looking into the properties of the object: two wheels, pedal, and the handle. And what are the methods that we are going to perform on it? Methods are nothing but an action. The pedaling is the action that we are going to perform on the object. That is the action. Okay, action is nothing but a method. We are saying is a method only. Okay, the methods and the actions are equal. Action that you perform are going to that you are going to perform on the object is the action, and the properties which describes the object. Okay, the object using the properties describes the object. With that properties only we will be identifying the objects in the application. There are multiple objects are available in the application, and they have certain unique properties to identify each and every object in the application. Okay, I hope you are clear on the object and the method. Okay, so just I will show you how the QTP looks like when we launch it. Okay. So I have this QTP 10 installed on my system. So this is the icon. On clicking the icon, you will be taken to the welcome screen, and therein you will be displayed a add-in manager screen. Here, this is the add-in manager screen. Here I have here the .NET license which is got expired actually. And these are the default. It will never expire. Okay. And if your application is developed and you are trying to automate the .NET application, you should select this checkbox. Then you should click on a OK button. That means and if you don't select all the add-ins which are all available in the application in the add-in manager. So whichever is required, select only those add-in managers while working on the application. Why? Because it takes long time while running the application. Click the OK button. So it says HP Quick Test Professional version 10. So we'll be taking the classes on the version 10. And but the look and feel of HP QTP 10 and QTP 11, HP UFT 11 point is 11.5 is totally different. So if you face any problem during the installation or during the practice session, just let me know. I will help you out in that one. Okay. This is the QTP tool. So when you open, you will be coming across this one. It has got menu bar, toolbar. Okay, that in the toolbar has each and every operations over here. That okay, and on expert view, the keyword view, and the data table, and the active screen, and one is the resource tab where available keywords, this test flow. Okay, but just concentrate on these side. Okay, I will explain each and everything in detail with an example so that you will be very comfortable while working on the tool. Okay, I'll take you to the options. HPQTP recording and scripting and playback. These are the components we are listing down. Okay, test pane contains the keyword view and expert view. What is the test pane? Here in the tool is, this is the test pane. It has got keyword view and expert view. Just today we will concentrate on the options which are available in the tool. Okay, then active screen. So this is the active screen section. What it does is it displays the screenshot of the exact image of the action that you perform on the application. With an example I'll show you. So provides a snapshot of your application as it appeared when you perform a certain step during the recording session. Okay, now in this example you would have recorded some action on this one. You perform, for example, I'll take, you would have recorded action of entering username and the password and clicking the sign in button. So what the active screen does is, for each and every script line, okay, it shows the image over here. Okay, the active screen displays the image only when you done a recording. Okay, it will not show the active image over here if you are written script descriptive programming, or if you are written a script based on the object repository. That I will come in the coming sessions. Okay, just for understand you, for the active screen displays the exact snapshot of the action, snapshot of the application on which you perform the action on the application. Okay, now I enter the username, means it will be highlighted over here. Okay, and I'll be entering over here, right? The same thing will be displayed here in the active screen. The data table assists you in parameterizing your test. This is the data table. So where we will be using it, like it look like a same Excel spreadsheet where this data table is used to fill in the different set of data to parameterize our test script. That we will learn in coming classes. What is the parameterization? How to parameterize the test scripts. And the debug viewer pane assists you in debugging the tests. Okay, here we will be having the debug viewer. So whenever we running this test script, no, so we need to know whether the variables whatever we created, so whether it is getting properly or not. That's the test. In the watch expressions, this is in the debug viewer only, you can see watch variables and the commands. Watch expressions, variables, and the command tabs. The debug viewer pane is not displayed when QTP was open, so it wasn't displayed by default. So I have selected it from the view and debug viewer. Okay, the status bar displays the status of the QTP application. Here is this ready is there, right? This is the status bar. So when you start recording, it will be displayed in the red color. Okay. So these are the main components. The main components are this pane, expert view and keyword view, the data table, and active screen is very less important, and we'll be going through the next. Okay, keyword view. So what the keyword view does is it enables of creation. I'll stop it here. Okay, what the keyword view is, enables the creation and viewing of the steps of your test in keyword driven modular tabular format. Here is the keyword view. In the keyword view, what happens is it will not show any VB script. Okay, as I told earlier, QTP uses the VB script to develop a test script. But here in the keyword view, now what happens is everything will be shown in a tree format. Whatever the action that you are going to perform on the application, no, that will be shown in a tree format. That I'll explain with an example. Whenever working on a QTP application tool, no, first you should open the tool QTP, then you should open the browser on which you are going to test the application. Okay, if you open the application first or a browser, then if you open the QTP and QTP fails to identify the objects. Okay, just I will record session on this one. I'll show you how to record and how to play back, what are the recording options in the coming classes, just to explain you what is the keyword view, how it looks like. So this is the status bar. When as I told, while recording it will be shown in the red color. I entered a username, I entered a password, and I'm clicking on a sign in button. Okay, now here is, I'll just stop it. Here you see in the keyword view, it is displayed in properly the hierarchy which I followed. It will be displayed the hierarchy in which I followed. The hierarchy in the sense, first is the browser. First it was the okay. So first it was the browser, then it's the page, then in that I entered the username, that is the thing over here, entered the username barlow.qa, then enter the password, then enter the sign in button. So that is what it is saying over here, enables the creation viewing of the steps of your test in a keyword driven format. Okay, each step is separate row. Here everything, the each and every step, whatever we created is a separate row for the each step that we perform on the application for each and every action. Here you can see in the active screen, as I explained, I entered username, so it is highlighted over here in the username field, and then I'll come to the password. The password will be highlighted, and I click on a sign in button. It is so. What the active screen does is it will help us to understand whether we followed the right steps to achieve the script or not. It will help us to understand. Okay, so you can just navigate on the row and you'll come to know whether it has selected the right field. The script is selected the right field or not. That you can judge using a active screen. But this active screen will show the image only if you have developed the script using a recording mode. Okay, this is the expert view. In the expert view, everything will be looks like this in the hierarchical order. Okay, even you can modify. In the what is the advantage of this expert view is it is documented properly. So here I did not enter anything like this. Enter hello.qa in the email edit box. I did not type this one. This documentation part is automatic. It will take this on its own. Okay, we are not going to do it. Give me a second. Okay, it has got item, operation, and the value. The operation is nothing but a methods which I told you, right? Actions that we are going to perform on the objects. So email is the text field. Here is the email is the text field wherein I am entering the username. So what is the action? Here QTP is saying it's as a set. Set is the action that we are going to perform on the text box object. And the set secures is the on a field which accepts the encrypted text. So that is why it is been the set secure. Even you can use the set action. So as I told, click is the method or action that we are going to perform on a button. Okay, sign in. So here there is no value for the sign in button. We are not entering any value. It's just an action of clicking. That is why there is no value in that field. Now, what is the expert view? The expert view displays the VB script generated for the actions that you perform on the application. Here you see, I did not type anything over here. It is automatically displayed on its own over here. Every row in the keyword view will have a respective script developed in the expert view. Okay, the first line is entering Balor QA, the username, then the password. Here you can see the active screen as well, and hitting on the sign in button. Okay, every row or every line in the expert view will have a respective entry in either of the view. Okay, if I have entry in this one, the respective keyword script will be generated over here. Now for a sake, just remove this. Now we'll see whether that is available in the expert view or not. No, it is not available there. That means every action, operation that you are going to create in the keyword view, it will create a script in the expert view, and the script whatever you write in the key expert view, the reflection will be there in the expert view in the this format, that hierarchy tree format. Okay, now we will see here sign in, click. Now come, this has got created on its own. Okay, so we will understand these one by one. So how the it is identifying the objects and all. So these are all the same details which I explained. Each step in is a separate row. Each column represents a different part of the test. We can modify the columns as per our requirement. Each step is also automatically documented. So as I told, each step is automatically documented, but that is only available in the keyword view. In the expert view, the documentation won't be available. For each row in the keyword view, there is a corresponding step in the expert view. As I told, so every entry in the keyword will have a respective entry in the expert view. Okay. In the expert view, quick test displays the each operation performed on the your application in the form of VB script. Okay. The expert view is a script editor with many scripting editing capabilities. Okay, here you can edit the values. Instead of that, you can give whatever you want. You can give any value and you can run playback the script. So when I play back the script, you can see it will perform the actions whatever I entered. You see. So it entered the username, it entered the password, and it hit the sign in button. Okay, so this is all about QTP tool and its views. Test pen details. It has got expert view and a keyword view. As I already explained, active screen, it provides the snapshot of the application as it appeared when you perform a certain step during the recording session. See, depending on the recording options of the for active screen, the page displayed in the active screen can contain a detailed property information. The active screen enables parameterization, addition of checkpoints. So this will see the parameter, how to do the parameterization and how to add the checkpoints using a active screen. So in the active screen, right, right click it, some operations are available, so we can do those operations also. These operations are all also available in the menu bar also. Okay. So this is the data table. The data table contains the global data plus additional tab for each action. So that means here we have by default when you launch QTP, you will be having two set of sheets. One is global sheet, one is the action sheet in a data table. Okay. So that will concentrate more on this in the coming classes. So why this data table is used? The data table assists you in parameterizing your test by storing the required set of test data. Okay. So if you have any doubts, you can ping me. So I'm done for the day.